So they done really showed themselves this week.
And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to put my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie?
Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for American Horror Story Cult. This is episode 6 of season 7. You know what? When we first start off, it's like just chaos. There's like this town meeting, and the candidates for mayor are outside speaking, and there's a shooter. And when you get up in there, you kind of just see like all this shoot. You really hear all the shooting, and there's people laying, and then there's actual bodies too. And then you see the cops coming in, and they're saying, "Put the gun down, put the gun down." And when you look up, it's Allie with the gun. I'm like, oh my God, what did happen? What did happen here? So it actually flips back to December, and we actually get to see where Ivy actually first she first was getting really acclimated into being a part of the cult. Late in November, we see when she actually meets Kai for the first time. But before I even go into that, let me talk about the fact that Allie, after the whole little situation, and we see Meadow get yanked away, Allie goes and plays Billy Badass, and she jumps up and goes and gets her stuff and runs over there. Now she gonna go and rescue Meadow. That's where she found Meadow and all that. And she goes to rescue her after, she got snatched away. She climbs in the window and all that, and we see Harrison and Platinum Blonde DA getting down, baby. They're getting down. She sneaks in there and she rescues Meadow, and they actually get out and they get in the car and they run. They actually go to the restaurant, to Allie's restaurant, and they're actually talking. And she basically ends up telling her story. She tells her how Kai basically seduced her. He seduced her, and then as time went on, she fell in love with him, and then she heard him putting the moves on Ivy, and she got jealous, and she jumped up, and she snapped out, and she was getting ready to leave, and they, knocked her out, threw her in the hole, because she was trying to escape. So just hold that right there. Because at that point, that's when, like I said, we flip back to, there's this meeting that actually goes on, and we meet Sally Keffler, which is a woman who was actually going to run for mayor against Kai. And there's this whole situation with her. She tore Kai up. He hates to be embarrassed. She tore him down and told him, "You're full of bullshit. You're on this thing of trying to make people fear you." She really busts the whole plan open. Like, she can see straight through him. She's very smart. She's very rehearsed. She's a Democrat. She wasn't for none of what he was talking about. And she said, "You're just trying to lead with fear, and people who lead with fear got issues. And I'm going to exercise my right and run against you because ain't nobody going for that bullshit." So later on that night, we actually see her sitting at home. Allie like I said, took Meadow to the restaurant, tells Meadow, explains everything to her. She takes Meadow to the psychologist and tells her, sit and talk to him for, give me 2 hours and I'll be back. I'm like, oh boy, why would you give her to him? And I'm like, shit, but we never saw whether or not Meadow had ever met him. But we know he's a part of the cult, but we didn't know if Meadows ever met him. But I can't see how she couldn't have known him. But anyway, so just stop there with that and just hold on to that. Let's go on over to Allie. Allie goes to Sally Kepler's house, and she's explaining to Sally Kepler what's going on. She's telling her about the cult and all this and all that. So, of course, we're sitting there, and I'm saying, she ain't going to believe her. She going to think she crazy and all of that. And she was just sitting there listening to her. She went and got this little box out and started rolling her a joint. And she was sitting there. She says, oh, yeah. And she said, so you believe me? She said, hell yeah. Said, I'll put anything past him. Again, people like this. She said, this ain't nothing but some Charles Manson shit. Yeah, I believe you. You know, it is what it is. So in the midst of them talking, you hear like this commotion and the door gets kicked in. Child, the clowns show up. So you know immediately Allie's like, I am out of here, bitch. So Allie takes off and runs and ends up running and locking herself in the bathroom. She's hiding, because again, you know, she can't take the whole clown thing. And they're there, and of course they get Sally, and I'm like, what the heck they ready to do? Sally was like ready. She grabbed her gun, pulled her gun on him. She's like, come on and move. I want one of you assholes to make me do you. I just want to do you. So somebody jumps her from the back. They get the gun off of her, slam her down. Kai goes on to, she's like, he said, you're on Facebook. Because her computer was still up. He said, you're on Facebook. Oh, shit, but you are old up here on Facebook. I do that no more. So then he proceeds to go on to her Facebook and type up a suicide letter, open letter out through her Facebook. And she's like, nobody's going to believe that. And he's like, of course they will. It's Facebook. People believe everything that's on Facebook. And don't they? Don't they? So they did that, and then they shot her up and killed her. Just made it look like she killed herself. So then they go, there's one clown searching around, and it's Allie. And she's searching around, and she gets down there, and she finds her in the bathroom, and she says, when she opens the door, she looked at her hands, and she was like, Allie? And she... Ivy rather, and she just looked at her, and then she closed the door because they were like, come on. So they closed the door, and they literally just walked off and let her live. So that was kind of, I thought that they were going to try to kill her, but then it all made sense. So let me go back, because then we're going to flip back to when Ivy first met Kai. Was right after the election. Remember, after they had Chaz Bono cut off his hand and all of that stuff. And then Ivy was afraid that her and Winter were going to get in trouble because Gary, that's her name, his name, Gary, was going to tell. And Winter's like, no, you got to meet my brother. So they go and they talk. And they do the pinky swear thing. And first Ivy was like, I ain't trying to hear that. But then she kind of bought in. And they start talking. And he brings it out of her. She's so screwed up when she was talking. She literally hates Allie. She hates her. And I knew there was something because when she was talking about her before, I said, she seemed like she hates her. But I was like, I can't, pinpoint everything down. But I said, I'm going to figure it out. Maybe she hates her. She hates Allie because of the fact that Allie carried Oz. And all this time we were thinking that Allie carried Oz because Ivy couldn't. Ivy's not physically able. She has an issue. She's not physically able to carry a baby. So she carried, she nursed. She was pissed off because she was nursing. She wanted her to take the baby off of the teddy and put the baby on a bottle. And she's like, no, I'm not doing that. And then, Allie's so overbearing with all her phobias and her craziness, she actually breastfed till he was 3. Mess. But anyway, through all that, Abby was actually jealous. So she was jealous of her, and she was jealous of the closeness that she had with Oz, that she felt like she screwed up. She has problems with her own womanhood, and she threw that off on Allie, but she just kind of kept it under wraps. But she really hates Allie. She loves her, but she hates her at the same time. She hates her, she's jealous of her. So at that time, that's what Kyle was like, well, he said, so what would make you happy? Being with my young sister, burying your head in her muff all the time. Would that make you happy? She said, yeah, but only if I can have Oz too. He said, that's fine. So we just kill her. We'll just kill your wife. How about, you ever thought about murder? She's like, no, that's crazy. And he's like, well, that's fine. No problem. We won't murder her, but we'll make it so, because this was said, the courts will never give me custody. So that's all right. We'll make it so that the courts won't have any other way to do anything but give you custody. We'll get her so far away, and that'll be that. So the plan was made. So then you actually see all of this was the plan. All of it. Every bit of this was, I said, oh, he is really giving Charles Manson. I mean, it was all this intricate plan. I mean, all the way down. And it shows how messed up he actually had Meadow. Meadow was so messed up. So the plan was to drive Allie crazy, which is what we've been watching since this program began. Now, let me show you how fiercely vindictive and manipulative that Kai is. So Meta was really getting ready to leave. She was like, I'm out of here. I am done. Let him know, told him, you ain't shit. You just brainwashing people, and you just ain't shit. You just ain't no different than anybody else. Ain't nobody think about you, and I'm out of here. Maybe he took her and put her down and pulled her underpants off of her and told her all that mess that she wanted to hear and manipulated her and made the whole plan and told them she said, because that's what she told them. You're never going to be off. They're never going to put you in office because you're crazy and ain't nobody think about you. And that's what he said. You're right. I need to get people on my side, basically. So he had this whole plan. That's what he said. I need to be assassinated. That's what it is. I need to be assassinated. She's like, and he told her, I need you to do it. Meanwhile, while he's up at her, I need you to do it. She said, I could never do that. I could never kill you. I would crack under the pressure on her. I couldn't do it. He said, you're not. He said, sure you could. He said, but see, it's not even about actually assassinating me. They love a comeback story. So that's what I'm going to do. He's going to make a comeback story. We love a hero, honey. Love the person that's always doing right or appears to be doing right. So he said, you're going to wound me. You're going to wound me. And then that's going to make the public, it's going to elevate me in the public eye. And then I will be able to get to the national level. Because everything that you said, when she was reading him, everything she was saying was right. But he's like, we're going to just fix that. That's no problem. He literally convinced this fool, Meadow, that this was going to go on. And then we got to actually see the whole outside shooting scene take full place. After Ivy was left at the doctor's office by Allie, and Allie come back. Allie's like, where's she at? He says she left. Why'd you let her leave? She's a grown woman. I can't tell her not to leave. So that was that. So the very next day, her and the psychologist got into it. She's like, I don't know who to trust. He's like, your phobias and stuff, it's all getting to you. You need to check yourself in to a to a facility. She said, you don't believe me. And he's like, no. She goes, fuck you. And she walked out. She left. Next day we see her. She goes up to the rally. She's there. Kai is on stage. She comes. She's walking, and who we actually see is Ivy. We see Ivy, and Ivy's like all, you know, crazy, like, oh my God, I'm so scared and everything. Whatever. We see Allie, see everything from Allie's vantage point. Allie's coming in, she sees what's going on, and she's coming up and she sees Meadow. She's like, Meadow. So she runs and she's trying to get to Meadow. And she's looking, and Meadow has pulled a gun out of her purse. And early, the day before, when she got Meadow and rescued Meadow, Meadow told her the only way to get rid of Kai is to kill him. So that was that. So Meadow she was actually the lone shooter. She was picking people off, baby, left and right, killing them, tearing them up, and shooting. And she shot Kai in his leg. And then she turned around, she just started randomly picking people off. Then when Allie ran up to her, she's like, "Stop, Meadow, stop!" And she grabs the gun. So they both got their hands on the gun, and of course, so now y'all both got fingerprints on the gun. She takes the gun and she tells her, "This is the testament of true love." And she turns the gun around while they both got it in their hand and blows her own head off. She literally allowed Kai to talk her into sacrificing herself. She was the sacrificial lamb to be able to elevate him to this status that he wanted to be in the public eye, because that's what he said. I'm going to go to the hospital, and as I'm healing, the public's going to be wanting me, and they're going to feel sorry for me, and I'm going to win them up. And everything that he planned, it was this intricate plan. It worked down to the letter, all the way down to even that fool that they didn't want in the cult anymore, killing her own damn dumb ass self because she was so dick hungry over Kai. She was that in love with him that she allowed him to talk her into blowing her own head off. And she blows her head off and she falls down. And of course, that's what we see, it all is in real time now. That's what we see Allie with the gun in her hand and the cops rolling up saying, "Drop the gun, drop the gun." And now she's arrested. And of course, she has all those records of being a nut job. So you know where she's going. She's going to be institutionalized. So now she's out of the way. Ivy can get full custody of Oz. Baby, that Kai is bad, bad, bad. You hear me when it comes to manipulating people, carrying on? Bad. And like I said, him and his seduction. He really knows how to work it. I mess. This was a really good episode. Because I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even figure Meadow out until the end of it. I was like, oh, that Meadow, slick honey, with her old dingy self. Dummy. I'm kind of glad she's gone. I'm kind of glad she blew her head off because she's an idiot. Lord have mercy. All right, but that's it. So here we go again, almost 18 minutes. I try to do this shorter, but there's no way to get this done shorter. It's a lot. There's a lot that goes into these episodes, but I am enjoying every minute of it. Anyway, I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Later.